excuse me, I burped. 7:30 a.m., September 7, 2025. We done flipped them posts. So, we could be on the Eastern, we could be on the Western. I don't know. But I'm Damika, right? And this is hashtag Lost Souls Tarot. Cards, portals to truth, okay? Top Life Force Generator, CEO of Life Force Gen Z LLC. I've been at this now since 4 in the morning, since about 4 in the morning. So yeah, my voice is a little. I took a break. I went ahead and put the first video in my system. Go ahead and check it out, community helpers. Check out all the videos if you guys don't mind. Please and thank you. I'm going to tap into the United States of America and beyond. I haven't tapped into those portals in quite some time. So I want to acknowledge them and acknowledge who's under judgment and what we should learn about, right? Because there's so much going on around the world. But because I'm in the U.S. of the A's, United States of America, they took away from America, right? They took away from the country. They took away from the land. Then I must learn as much as I can learn about the land that they built on top of. But the only way I can learn about the land that they built on top of is to learn the land that they have here. As above, so below. As within, so without. That's my mission. All right, so I'm not being a bully. Nothing like that, right? They let me go into their public schools and learn their systems. And I want to acknowledge how much I've learned, right? Y'all. So let's do that, all right? Let's do that. Let's get the bell rung up in here. Let's get the bell that's rung. Told y'all I gotta do a way to get a bell now, y'all. Till I can go get me one. Let's get this bell going to clear out the energy. And we just want to welcome any and all energies that's willing to come out during this time related to the United States of America and beyond that's under judgment. Don't be shy. Come on out with your energies now. Come on out with your energies. We appreciate you, right? And then we'll release you right back into the wild. Thank you. Okay, so let me go get them. Let's see which one we're going to tap into first. Alright, so the first one that I picked up is going to be USA and Beyond Part 6 under judgment. Alright, so we got Part 6 we're going to pull from Part 6, yes? Yeah, okay, there we go. Let me do it like this. Right? Okay. Okay. So now y'all can see a little better. So we're pulling from US of A, Part 6, US of A and Beyond, Part 6. Okay. Yeah, let's get into it. All of these have been pre-shuffled already. All of these. Oh, okay. All right, so we're already starting off heavy with some coordinates. These coordinates have 480,065 victims. All right. Y'all cannot see that. I'm trying to see a better way. Okay. The coordinates are, I dropped it again. The coordinates are 37.18 degrees north, 108.49 degrees west, as above, so below. All right. To bereave beauty is to elevate one's soul. To bereave beauty is to elevate one's soul. Okay. Rincon Mountain. Binational Organizations. That was portal 4. Portal number 5. They stuck together, baby. And a lot of these are front to back, okay? So we got the Athenians. And then we got 32nd Corps. Okay. Don't worry, we're going to tap into what any of these means. We got New Haven, Connecticut. And then we also got Deer Island. Check out those coordinates. I'm going to read them out to you. All right, Deer Island, Blink Twice, the movie, is what it reminds me of. Society owns and manages it. On the St. Lawrence River, Alexandra Robbins is an author. All right, get together and rekindle old friendships. Coordinates, 44.35906 degrees north. 75.909345 degrees west. We got domestic terror suspect watch. Kudos to the whistleblowers. Okay. South Node and North Node is here. Okay. South Node and North Node. Past patterns, habits, traits you're encouraged to leave behind. Okay. You are the dragon's head, life's purpose, ultimate lessons, and you're understanding your karmic ways, okay? Mount Lemon. Mount Lemon is portal number 9, Mount Lemon. Victoria Falls National Park in Zimbabwe. We also have Bulgaria, Vitosha National Park. Portal number 11. Kishal Lamkank. The grandfathers of the North, East, and West, and the great mother of the South. (1981), 2001, and 2003 could be relevant years, numbers, maybe an address, maybe part of a phone number, maybe part of a social. I don't know. Portal number 13. Whoop, that dropped and fell. We got Base and Realignment Closure Act of 1990. Base Realignment and Closure Act of 1990. So that was portal number 13. Okay, so now we want to tap into let's tap into Deer Island. Yeah, we're going to tap into Deer Island. What is 30 seconds? Let's look that up. What does 30-second, excuse me, while we do some research real quick, because we want to know what the heck some things mean. 32-second corpse. Okay. Two corpse in the United States. The two corpse was a corpse-sized formation of the United States Army that was active in both World War I, World War II. It was originally formed and fought on the Western Front during World War I, and was also the first American formation of any size to see combat in North Africa or Europe during World War II. Okay, it was active February 24th, 1918 through February 1st, 1919 by the U.S. Army. July 29th, 1921 through August 15th, 1927, National Guard, U.S. August 15th, 1927, U.S. Army. August 1st, 1940 through October 10th, 1945. March 1958 through June 5th, 1970. Okay, so U.S. Army, the corpse, okay. Garrison Headquarters, Camp Kilmer, New Jersey. After 1958 could be relevant. Notable commanders: Mark W. Clark, Lloyd Fredenall, George S. Patton, and Omar Bradley. Okay. All right. So that's what we got on that. So let's tap into Deer Island. And what is Base Realignment and Closure Act? Let's look that up. We're at 9 minutes and 58 seconds. They have a bunch of base realignment and closure acts. I'm looking at the one for 1990, but actually, y'all, I'm looking at 1990, 2024, 2022, 2021, 2023. Right? So it's several years for this base realignment and closure act. Let's go to the 1990 like I have. Let's figure out what's going on. The Defense Base Closure and Realignment Act of 1990 established the framework for the closure and disposal of military installations in the United States. It aimed to streamline military operations and reduce excess infrastructure by allowing the Department of Defense, DoD, to close bases and realign resources effectively. This act is part of a broader process known as the Base Realignment and Closure Act, BRAC. BRAC! That's what BRAC means, process, which has been used to manage military installations. Okay, it makes sense. Y'all know them job jokers done moved their main UFO, whatever main base that they have, they done moved their job joker. Now they going to Cheyenne Mountain, like I've been telling y'all, Cheyenne Mountain Complex. That's where most of them job jokers is hiding, because they got all their clones out here. I sound crazy all day. I don't give a damn. They got all their clones out here, and they hiding in Cheyenne Mountain Complex. The real ones. But they can't hide it. You niggas can't even hide it. All right, so we got that there. Okay, I want to pull on Deer Island. Okay, Deer Island. Because I wrote down, it reminds me of Blink Twice. I was great to put Erie Island. Ain't that something? Deer Island. It's in Massachusetts. So we have some coordinates there, right? Let's see what we got. Deer Island is a peninsula in Boston, Massachusetts, United States. Since 1996, it has been part of the Boston Harbor Islands National and State Park. Although still an island by name, Deer Island has been connected to the mainland since the former Shirley Gut Channel, which once separated the island from the town of Winthrop, Massachusetts, was filled in by the 1938 New England hurricane. Today, Deer Island is the location of the Deer Island wastewater treatment. National Park, Deer Island. So it's part of a National Park Service. You know how I feel about national parks. They done some corrupt things in national parks. They do corrupt things in national parks. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So we're at 13 minutes and 23 seconds. So Deer Park has a rich history that spans various periods, including its early native inhabitants and its transformation into a site of significant historical events. Historically, Deer Island was a vital agricultural land for the native people, known for its fertile soil and thriving crops. During King Philip's War, it became a prison camp for indigenous peoples where many suffered from inadequate conditions. In the 19th century, it served as a quarantine facility for immigrants and a hospital for the poor. Reflecting its role, something just fell, y'all. I'm going to show y'all which ones fell on the floor after I finish reading this. Reflecting, where was I at? Dang, this is why I stopped smoking weed. This is exactly why, because my brain. Where the hell was I at? Reflecting the light of the sun. Oh, hell no. In the 19th immigrants, reflecting its role in humanitarian efforts. The island has also been used for various purposes, including military installations and as a site for the Massachusetts Almshouse. Overall, Deer Island's history is marked by its transformation from a peaceful agricultural land to a site of significant social and historical challenges. As above, so below, as within, so without. All right. So as I was reading this, these three portals fell on the floor, okay? They have fallen. Astaphius, Archon, supposed to represent divinity, Venus. 4, 6, 8, 9 heavens, and Sophia is associated with this. All right. They have fallen. Moana statues, okay? Polynesia, 800 plus. That fell. As well as this. Alhambra, Moorish Garden Citadel, Sierra Nevada, mystical Islamic Moors, fallen. Fallen. And then Unified Space Vault. Unified Space Vault fell down while I was reading that. Now let's tap into the Unified Space Vault. Ooh, my bad. Y'all still here? Yeah, y'all still here. Okay. Unified Space Vault. Okay. What is that? Okay. So we got it is the 614th Air Operations Center. It was a space operations center of the United States Space Forces Space Operations Command. It served as the core of the Combined Space Operations Center. It has fallen, as well as serving as the Space Force's primary force provider to the CSPOC. That's a lot of, you know how they love their acronyms. It was active since August 1st, 1998 through July 24th of 2020, okay? But you know when they say they closed something, all they did was move it and rename it. I'm just telling y'all. The branch was United States Space Force. It was part of Space Operations Command, Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. Okay, all of this is under judgment as it's coming out of my mouth, okay? As we all are, right? Let's see. Yeah, wow. On May 24th of 2007, it was redesignated as the 614th Air and Space Operations Center in alignment with the component numbered Air Force structure. And then they always make stuff so they word it so that I can understand it once I sit down and read it and read it the way I like to read things. Then I can become and understand it. The list of commanders are Colonel Stephen N. Whiting, Colonel Dick Boltz, Colonel Christopher Malls, John Wagner, John Giles, Michael Maynard, Scott D. Broder, and Monique C. DeLauder. A female made it in there. I was about to call her a woman. It was redesignated on July 24th, 2020, the 614 AOC was inactivated and redesignated as Space Delta 5. Told y'all they just renamed the shit. Like these Chinese buffets and all these companies out here. All of them. Okay, they all be under the same bloodlines. Right? The same bloodlines be owning all this shit. They just name it by different names, different companies and shit like that. Right? Right? So that's our 13 portals that we opened for USA and beyond. That's under judgment. With the Deer Island. With the Deer Island and the Unified Space Vault, I want to pull out some community helpers. I sure do. Yes, I do. I want to see what kind of communities been helping with them. Who's been helping them in the communities, or what do they represent in the communities? And we'll start with the Unified Space Vault, please and thank you. We'll start with the Unified Space Vault. What kind of community helpers were helping them in this? We already had their commanders and things like that, but we want to know in the community, how have they affected the community? Who's been helping them, or who is trying to help us? Please and thank you, universe. All right, so let's get it cracking, y'all. What's the very first community helper that's going to come out? We're going to pick 4. Who was it? That was evolve, evolve, and evolve again. So keep evolving. And don't stop there. Evolve some more. And then don't stop there. Evolve again. Okay? What's next? Defiance got your back. Okay, so be very defiant and stand in your truth. Right? They are liars. They are lying, and it's so astronomically big that it's only a few of us that's speaking truth and standing on it. So we're gonna look crazy as hell. I've even seen some people that were being gang stalked really go crazy. Like I forget her name. I'm praying for all, right? But I forget this young lady's name, man. She is brown skin like me. I don't do the race term black, right? I don't do all that, right? Caucasian, African American, I don't do all that, right? We're spirit, we're energy. But she was saying how she was being gang stalked, and it looked like she was like high, maybe off of drugs. And she looked how they wanted her to look, crazy. She looked like she didn't know what she was talking about, but I felt every word in her bones, every word in her spirit and her soul. She was telling the truth, but they had got to her. They got to her. You got to be strong-minded out here, babies. Portal number, okay, they've been working with the healthcare systems. Unified Space Vault has been working with the healthcare systems. Caduceus, winged staff with two snakes twisting around it. Mercury battle. Rod of Asclepius, staff with two entwined snakes. Organization of people and institutions. Battle against Asclepius. White overalls or colored uniforms. Symbolic clothing is very demonic. Creators of diseases, and they have worked along with these African practitioners as well. Diggity damn. One more for the unified space. I rule over Aries, Mars. Okay, so Mars is in the building. At first I had wrote Venus. That was wrong. That's why that scratched out. Okay, so they're working with Mars too. They're working with Mars to affect the zodiacs. So they're working with the healthcare systems, and they're working with the planet or the plane Mars. That's Elon Musk. Ain't you from Mars, nigga? Anyway, I don't know. But Mars is in the building, okay? Unified Space Vault has been working with Mars and also been working in the healthcare systems, not in the way that you want. You should not be focused on the healthcare systems. A lot of fraud within the healthcare systems, a lot of fraud. These doctors have been trained to give you diseases, to implement diseases in your head. They know that they could study you just by your birth chart, and they can tell you how to heal you just by you using your mind and telling yourself you ain't sick. Yeah, you feel the symptoms. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, bring that shit on. Now, all right, release. Right? But it got to the point where these job jokers tell you you're going to die, you believe it. And then once your mind believes it, it's a wrap. You're done. All right, so now we're going to pull into Deer Island. I would like some community helpers for Deer Island, please. I would love 4 community helpers for Deer Island, okay? It's on the St. Lawrence River. It's on the St. Lawrence River. The world is reversed. Messing around with Deer Island. There's a delay. Feeling incomplete. Seeking shortcuts to complete. Unable to complete a cycle. Okay, incompletion and shortcuts is with Deer Island. Incompletion and shortcuts. No more war zones. We win. No more war zones. We win. These 6 names could be relevant. Okay, I'm looking at Adams, Nelson, Baker. You were looking at Nguyen, Flores, and Green. All right, one more for these Deer Island, please. They were being meddlesome. Being meddlesome. Okay, being meddlesome. Okay, so I'm also looking at, because we're at 24 minutes and 37 seconds. Let's get, the grandfathers of the North, East, and West, and the grandmother of the South. Oh, okay. Let's tap on the domestic terrorist suspect watch. Okay, and shout out to the whistleblowers. Okay, Let's tap into that. Domestic terror. Oh, okay. Off the break. We got the black butterfly. Okay, the black butterfly came out. The black butterfly came out, y'all. Okay, transformation, change, the black obsidian, profound metamorphosis, new beginnings, fresh start, beauty, rebirth, death. Shout out to the whistleblowers. That is the ultimate sacrifice right there, because most of them know that once they blow that whistle, they are exiting out of the program. They are exiting out, whether they go down to the bunkers or whether they really exit out of here. Okay, whether they are unalived, who knows? They are no longer in our programs. All right, so give me 3 more for this domestic terror watch suspect. Domestic terror suspect watch. We got blasphemy energy. Oh, so y'all defied God, huh? Y'all don't want to believe in the reality of what's happening. Domestic terror suspect watch. Let's look that up real quick so I can have a better understanding as to what I'm looking at. Yep. Hold on, y'all. Y'all gonna learn with me. Domestic terror suspect watch. Search our database of suspected terrorists. Ooh, so this is a database for suspected terrorists. They ain't gonna let me get it out, nigga. Threat Screening Center at the FBI. The Threat Screening Center maintains the U.S. government's consolidated terrorism watch list. Oh shit! Shout out to the whistleblowers. All right. Some of us, according to the tarot community, some of us was actually on a what's it called? Terrorism watch list. Little old us. And the whole time, the ones that was reporting us was the ones that y'all should have been investigating. Or you are. Thank you all for doing your job. We appreciate that so much. We genuinely do. Okay, so we got okay, so that's what. Ew, they terror suspect watch because they had blasphemy energy. Okay, they had blasphemy energy, but we sent in the black butterfly for transformation and change. Okay, the terror suspect watch is supposed to represent transformation and change, but most of the entities that they had on that suspect watch was the transformation and change that they didn't want to happen. Here's portal number 3. There's a Jezebel. This fucking bitch. Jezebels can be men and women, witches and warlocks, okay? There's a Jezebel in the energy. Blasphemy energy, okay? Adultery, false worship, opposition to the true God. Blasphemy energy. Manipulative, dominating, sneaky, a liar, full of illusion. They can target male or female authority figures. They create division and strife within communities. They are relentless. They do sex rituals, food rituals. They have sold their souls. Okay. One more for this domestic terror suspect watch, please, and thank you. Be trustworthy. Trust in the universe and everything is aligning exactly how it is going to be. Divine attributes. Be supportive. Be faithful, be reliable, be honest, and you have to have integrity. This Jezebel, she don't. Get the fuck away from these type of these energies. By now, we are able to feel that shit. Right? They ain't even gotta say nothing no more. Negative energy is felt now. Yes, it is felt, beloveds. Some of y'all can smell it. Some of us can smell them. They stink. And they try to cover it up with the Bath and Body Works, Palo Santo, and fucking sage. We still smell y'all stank asses. Yeah, they're soulless. Okay. We're at 29 minutes and 58 seconds. What's going on in Rincon Mountain? What is that? What is Rincon Mountain? Let's look that up real quick. Rincon Mountain. Arizona. You know, that's another hot one. Arizona, Colorado, Montana, New Mexico. Don't get me started to trying to remember some things here. On fire, California, everywhere for real. But Rincon Mountain mountains are a significant mountain range of east of Tuscan Pima County, Arizona, in the United States. The Rincon Mountains are one of the 5 mountain ranges surrounding Tuscan Valley. Okay, the 5 mountain ranges. The other ranges include the most prominent: the Santa Catalina Mountains to the north, the Santa Rita Mountains to the south, the Tucson Mountains to the west, and the Tortolita Mountains to the northwest. This goes back to the grandfathers of the north, east, and west, and the grandmother of the south. This is what this is Reddington Pass separate. Okay, so let's see. The peak is Mika Mountain. Y'all know I'm D'Amica. The peak is Mika Mountain or Micah Mountain. Let's get some community helpers out for Rincon Mountain, please, and thank you. Let's get some community helpers out for them, please, and thank you. Please and thank you. Rincon Mountain, please and thank you. Please and thank you, Rincon Mountain, please and thank you. Appreciate you, lovely. Rincon Mountain. Uranus is unexpected change, doing things unplanned. Uranus is unexpected change because you're doing things that's unplanned. You're in Uranus because you keep doing things and you're not planning it, okay? Okay. Rincon Mountain. Fear of losing all, granted. If you fear you're going to lose all, it's granted. They need therapy. Rincon Mountain. Maybe those that were in Rincon Mountain, affected by Rincon Mountain, need therapy. One more, please, and thank you. And she is lying. So whatever's associated with this Rincon Mountain, she lying, and they need therapy. All right. Spiritual and moral deception, betrayal, violation of trust. What does binational organization mean? Okay. Remember we pulled that out? Binational organization. Let's go ahead and look that up real quick. Then we're going to pull 4 community helpers out for them. Binational organizations. As of 2020, academic data set on international organizations included 561 intergovernmental organizations between the years of 1815 and 2015. More than 1/3 of those IGOs, international government organizations, ended up defunctioned. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it, y'all. United Nations and agencies. The UN has 6 principal organs: the General Assembly, which is the main deliberative assembly; the Security Council. Oh, that just shot out my mouth. That just shot out my mouth. You got the Security Council decides certain resolutions for peace and security. You have the Economic and Social Council, assist in promoting international economic and social cooperation and development. You have the Secretariat, provides studies, information, and facilities needed by the UN. The International Court of Justice, the primary judicial organ. The United Nations Trustee Council, which is inactive. Okay. They also include these. Okay, the UN also includes various funds, programs, and specialized agencies. Food and Agriculture Organization, International Labor Organization, International Civil Aviation Organization, International Maritime Organization. All of these are under judgment. International Telecommunication Union, Joint United Nations Program on HIV or AIDS. Okay, United Nations Capital Development Fund, United Nations Human Rights Council, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, United Nations Development Program. All these going to say United Nations because I'm about to save my breath. Educational, scientific, and cultural organizations. We also have Environment Program, Human Settlements Program, Industrial Development Organization, Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, Office on Drugs and Crime, Postal Union, World Health Organization, World Intellectual Property Organization, World Food Program, World Meteorological Organization, UN Tourism. All right, you got the United Nations headquarters is in New York City, United Nations Office of Geneva, United Nations Office of Nairobi, the United Nations Office at Vienna. The UN also includes subsidiary organs, International Residual Mechanism for Criminal Tribunals, International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. Okay, and it goes on and on and on, y'all. We got agricultural research organizations, fishery organizations, maritime organizations. We got financial trade and custom organizations, financial trade and customs. Okay, so this is like that right there is your cartel for us over here. This is your financial institutions, the cartel. Okay, the Bretton Woods systems and things like that. The central bank. Okay. They are Alliance for Financial Inclusion, African Development Bank. How many is these? I'm gonna read these and then we're gonna end this transmission. African Development Bank, Asian Development Bank, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Bank for International Settlements, Black Sea Trade and Development Banks, Caribbean Development Bank, Council of Europe Development Bank, Eurasian Development Bank, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, European Investment Bank, Federation of Euro-Asian Stock Exchanges, Financial Action Task Force, Inter-American Development Bank, Inter-American Investment Corporation, International Bureau of Weights and Measures, International Energy Agency, International Fund for Agricultural Development, International Development Law Organization, International Monetary Fund, Islamic Development Bank, Nordic Development Fund, Nordic Investment Bank, New Development Bank, Organization for Economic and Cooperation Development, OPEC, which is the Operation for Economic and Cooperation Development, for International Development, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, West African Development Bank, World Bank Group, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, International Development Association, International Finance Corporation, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. You got International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, World Customs Organization, World Trade Organizations. Okay? Damn. So you got the regions that are affected. I'm not going to read all those. You guys can go to Wikipedia and you can type this in. The regional organizations are from Europe, Asia, transcontinental, Africa, Americas, military alliances, okay? Australia, New Zealand, United States Security Treaty, AUKUS, Collective Security Treaty Organization, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, Inter-American Treaty of Reciprocal Assistance, Islamic Military Counterterrorism Coalition. They also have cultural, ethnic, linguistic, and religious organizations. So the Commonwealth of Nations is the very top. Okay, at the very bottom is Religions for Peace. Okay, we're at 40 minutes and 55 seconds. You also have educational organizations and universities. Okay, and yeah, this is ridiculous, y'all. Y'all gotta tap into this. Okay, Law Enforcement Corporation is also here. International Criminal Court, International Criminal Police Organization, Permanent Court of Arbitration. We got transport here. Okay, transport is here. Humanitarian organizations in here. Environmental organizations in here. Arms control, energy organizations are here. Okay, nuclear power organizations, sustainable energy organizations, digital organizations, Packet Clearinghouse, Digital 9, okay, ideological and political groupings, okay, and others. We also got defunct organizations, okay. This right here, I'm going to put this inside of the description where you can get this Wikipedia information so that you all can tap into it. Because remember, what we did was we tapped into binational organizations, and then we went to the list of international organizations. Okay, that's what we did, and it gave us all that great information. Seriously, and we're thankful for it. We are. I'm gonna give a doggone what I am. I'm gonna have to get back into that and make some more portals on my cards. That was beautiful to read all that. It was beautiful, but it was like, this is something I should have tapped into a little bit more. A lot of my cards, like I said, if you look at my very first videos of when I started creating the hashtag Lost Souls, we are learning together. Everybody don't know everything, and everybody can't believe everything that they know. Hello. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that here. And this was USA and beyond. Okay, so now that we got this here, we did some research on that. We also did research on, I'm going to put all of the research that we did in here. Okay, y'all, I'm going to put them all there because, y'all, we got to learn. We got to learn. We have to learn. And it's up to you to want to learn. Babies, it's up to y'all to want to learn. Okay. Air Operations Center. It's up to you to want to learn. Give me a second. And we're going to close this out. Dulce base. All right. And that way you all can do your own research. You never take someone's information and claim it as your own, right? But what you do is you take that information, you learn from it, and then you build on your own. Super easy, y'all. Super duper easy. All right, we're at 44 minutes and 22 seconds. That's a 4-4 and a 2-2. Somebody come through with the numbers. All right, I don't know what it means off the top of my head. I like to look stuff up and then I write it down. And then once I keep rereading it, keep rewriting it, then I learn. Okay, I'm hands-on learning. I got to do the shit in order for me to learn it. Don't tell me nothing. Let's just do it. Let's just get into it. Let's just get in it, right? Because once you tell me, I'm operating, I'm computing it in my head, and I'm shit. I'm like, oh, shit. What? But if you walk me through it and I can physically do it, it's a wrap. Especially if I make a mistake, it's a wrap. Okay, so we're going to leave this here. This was a lot of information given out. Hopefully you all always bring your notebooks and your pens when you fuck around with an entity like me, because we're going to learn. Okay? So, yeah, we rebuke all spells, rituals, and castings that are not of the highest frequencies of source level consciousness that may have been projected our way on all timelines, planes, and dimensions, consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously, knowingly and unknowingly. Anything and everything that we are connected to, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and ethereally, they are all protected. All is transmuted into whatever the fuck they sent to me, and then it's sent back to its source, because I am sovereign and free. Any agreements and contracts that I may have agreed to while I was being on lower paradigms of existence of consciousness, they are all cut and ended on all timelines, planes, and dimensions, consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously, knowingly and unknowingly. We are sovereign. We are sovereign. We are sovereign. It is done. It is done. It is done. And so it is. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Say that in increments of 3, 6, or 9 in order to make your manifestation, your dream, or your vision to come alive. That's not working for none of you karmic entities, dark entities out there at all. Nope, it's not for you. Nope. All right, much love, light, peace, and darkness.